Yes, I do. That's one of the few pictures I think that was really taken of the.
Exactly.
Of
it
the
was
car.
hard to find anything.
Yeah, no, that was one on the. That was after a semi-final race, I think, too.
See that, Link? Oh, yeah. Everybody remembers.
Yeah, Mickey drove the car at State Line, so he drove it to State Line and I drove it at Erie. So.
Yeah, this is clearly Erie. Yep.
Yeah, Jim Ponders, I think, was a flagman at that time.
You got it.
Yeah, no, that's had to.
What year is that?
62.
62?
I would think in 1962. Yeah. That sounds good.
It looks like about a 61.
A 61 Chevy that we bought from Floyd Finale.
Oh, you
or not
did?
Floyd, Laverne Finale.
Ron, what color was that car?
I believe it was a maroon. They both were maroon cars. They were like twins. And 11 was easier because you could just go down, and and it was Ned Jarrett's number, I think, at that time too. He was number 11, so we were kind of
Did it
emulating.
have anything to do with one?
I don't remember that. I think it was just the easiest to do the. It was easier to do 1-1. If we were from Bustye, it was hard to count over. The one was easier to put on the side of the car. Yeah.
Schnars family farm, and out back there was kind of a pasture where you guys rode around. Were you part of that world?
I came in probably maybe in the middle of that.
Yeah.
There was 160 acres of old farmland there. And one story, Bob had started this whole thing with a field car, but Gary Hazard and Ronnie Schnars and myself purchased a 36 Plymouth Coupe from Bob Sweeney, who had a garage in Bustye. And we used that, this is before we had our driver's license, of course, and we used that field car all summer there to hone our racing skills there around the pasture.
What did your mother think of all this?
Oh, she was not very happy about that. Not very happy. I know she came home one afternoon and there was a field car just rolled over by the side of the house, and she thought Bob was driving it. And it was cousin Dave Anderson that was behind the wheel on that one, wasn't it? Ralph Bodka? Okay. It wasn't in the car, but she just pulled in the driveway when the car was rolling over alongside the house. And so that really didn't go over too good. I would say probably the drag racing. I think I think this, but maybe we shouldn't go there.
No, because Bill did it.
Oh, did he? Okay, well, I don't know.
He blew everybody in.
I don't know what the statute of limitations. Yeah.
Let me tell you, you're there. You're already out there.
No, there was a Crandall's Dairy Bar on Bustye Sugar Grove Road, and this was kind of a meeting place for everybody in that time period. And I wasn't able to drive, but we would go over there and watch the drag races on Friday and Saturday night. They had a white line that was started by the Lawson Road that they had painted across. And then the end of the quarter mile was just past Chuck Peterson's farm there. Okay. And that was a nightly event. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it, but there was only one policeman in Bustye at that time, Willis Mattoon. And there was no radio in his car, and he was kind of out there all by himself, so he just kind of stayed out of the way.
So how did it normally work? I mean, talk to me about what a normal drag race would look like.
I don't know if there's anything normal about it. Basically, I mean, they would line up by the Lawson Road, and then
Two cars,
and there'd be a lot of tire burning, there'd be a lot of rubber squealing and whatever, and then here they'd come over past the dairy bar. And I don't know who the winner, I guess, was obvious, first person through there, but there was always a crowd watching what was going on there. And I can't remember anybody really getting hurt, you know, from doing that in that period of time. I don't.
Was it just sort of during the week? Somebody, my car's better than your car.
I think that's
Saturday?
what I think that's what stimulated
There was a lot less traffic.
Oh yes, I believe that they would go down the road and even stop traffic. There was like a forward observer there that would, you know, say we got to wait for a minute. We got a drag racing process up the road here. So.
Was it just a one race, or were there several races there?
Oh, there was multiple. I believe there was multiple people. There were people come off from Jamestown with their cars and be involved with that too.
Yeah, it could have happened any night.
Oh, right, yes. I think more of a weekend. I guess it was when I was there, more of a weekend event. And I'm sure there was different areas. There was a place up by Sinclairsville. Wasn't there another place up there where they were drag racing on like a real straight stretch coming into? I can't think of the route number.
Was it like a King of the Hill? You know, at some point.
I think it was probably some bragging rights there. I'm almost sure that was very important at that period of time to have the fastest car.
Yeah.
I think I think Bob was probably one of the fastest people in Bustay there. Before he got the state line.
Yeah.
Bob was born in '36. Is that true?
7.
37, and I was born in '41. So
4 years.
4 years difference. So that was a big.
It was a big deal then.
Right, he was my big brother at that time, and so I always looked up to him at that point. Well, some would say he was a bad influence, but I learned an awful lot, by tagging along on a lot of that.
He's kind.
Where's Billy in all of this?
Billy was born in 1951, so he was quite a bit younger,
Okay.
but he was in the racing business for a while too.
So on a normal weekday that you were leading up to racing at State Line, what would happen? I mean, you race on a Saturday and then you come back, and what was the normal deal?
There was a lot of work involved. I mean, a lot of work. A lot of people. I don't realize how much time was spent, especially with Bob and Frosty. I mean, they put hours and hours and hours into the race car there to keep it really sharp and ready to go.
What was your role in all of this?
I'm not really sure. We were mostly doing the sheet metal work. There was things that had to be fabricated, the dashes, the floor panels. This was before you could, aftermarket, you could buy all of these products.
During a race, obviously, it's high competition. There are other drivers out there trying to knock your brother off because he was so damn good. First of all, who was the competition? Who really was the competition for Bobby?
Jeez, I think everybody. Well, Squirt Johns would have had to been probably the number one there for years. He was always but everybody else, Johnny Whitehead and Freddie. I can't remember what Freddie's last name was. Freddie Knapp. Freddie Knapp was another good one. Of course, Ronnie Blackmer and Hyle Russell and Eddie Kiskell. I'm going to miss somebody here,
Sure,
but
sure.
They were all very. It was very competitive. I mean, there was no easy win. I don't think.
Are there a couple of guys on the pit crew who were sort of the enforcers?
And Cale Groves, I forgot about Cale Groves. He might have been one that would, if you wanted to get hurt, he would definitely hurt you.
What was it that made your brother special as a driver?
I don't really know. He was just very, very good. That's the only way I can. Just a natural. It was just a natural at it. There was no other way to describe it. One thing I think of is going to the racetrack. If you ever followed Marv Levy, that was a coach of the Buffalo Bills. He had that one-liner, "Where would you rather be than right here, right now?"
Yes.
And that's the way I think I felt when we got to State Line there, Erie Speedway. That was I don't know. It was just a magical place. I don't know if there's any other way to describe it.
Well, thank you, Ronnie.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you.